Hey guys, and welcome to Jay's Nest. Today, I'll be reviewing 3 of Geffen Baby's hemp products. The Hemp Fleece Prefold, the Hemp Fleece Flat, also known as the Fladdle, and the Jersey Hemp Flat. I will be going over the basic features, how I use each item, and also my honest opinion of each item. Geffen Baby competitively has one of the most absorbent hemp blends on the market by using fabrics with a 60% hemp and a 40% organic cotton blend. All of their products are made in the USA. Keep in mind that hemp does shrink. You can expect these products to shrink about 10 to 15%. The shrinkage varies from item to item due to being different batches of fabric. Hemp does need upwards to 8 to 10 washes to reach maximum absorbency. And I will admit that I am very lazy with my prepping. I personally wash them 3 times and then I start using them. And during this process of them not being fully prepped, I use them for daytime only. Once they've been washed about 8 times, then I start adding these products into my nighttime routine. This is kinda how I am with all hemp products. And the method that I use is less of a suggestion and more of a like, hey, I'm being honest here and I don't like to overcomplicate things. I'm just kinda lazy with my prepping. So just keep in mind, it can take 8 to 10 washes for it to actually be fully prepped. I have been sent 2 of these products to review for you guys, the Hemp Fleece Prefold and also the Hemp Fleece Flat, also known as the Fladdle. I've been using both of these products for over 2 months now. And then the Jersey Hemp Flat that I'm also reviewing, I've had that for years in my stash. I thought it would be good to put it in this video for comparison. Also, thank you so much Geffen Baby for reaching out to me and allowing me to review these products for my subscribers. And with all of this said, let's get started. This is the extra large Hemp Fleece Prefold. It's made with 60% hemp and 40% organic cotton. It's made of 4 layers of hemp fleece, and my first question when I got this was, is this stay dry? A lot of times when we hear the words fleece, we automatically assume that it's stay dry, but this fabric is not stay dry. If you want to have a stay dry effect, you'll need to use a synthetic micro fleece liner to lay against baby skin. With all of that said, this fabric is really soft and fuzzy. When you first get it in, I think it is super soft, but over time with washing and drying, it does become a little less soft, and I think it becomes a little more fuzzy versus soft. When you receive it, it will measure 18 by 21.5 inches. Like I mentioned earlier, all of Geffen's products will shrink, as all natural fiber products do, especially hemp. My Prefold shrank to 17.5 inches by 18.75 inches. These fleece prefolds are sized. You can get them from extra small to extra large, and each size comes with a different colored trim to help you identify the sizing. The one that I have is an extra large and it comes with a navy blue trim. And to me, the most incredible thing about this extra large prefold is that it holds 23 to 24 ounces of fluid. Incredible, isn't it? I use this prefold strictly for nighttime. It's incredibly absorbent, and I honestly would feel like I would waste the absorbency if I used it for daytime, if that makes sense. Is anyone else out there like that, where you use only a certain diaper or certain absorbency for nighttime? This is probably the most absorbent thing I have in my stash, and I just feel like it's better used for nighttime. My go-to combination for my toddler with this prefold is a button super cover. This is overall a really bulky nighttime solution. So for me, I find it important that I have a baggier or a bulkier, a roomier cover with it. And the Button Super Cover is pretty roomy and it fits this extra large Prefold really well. Scarlett mainly needs her absorbency in the front, so I modify the pad fold. This Prefold is awkwardly sized compared to what I'm used to, so I found that it fits best when I modify the pad fold. A pad fold is folding a flat or a Prefold into a rectangle. It's super easy, it's super simple, and I think it's a great fold for parents who need something quick and simple. Here's the modified fold that I use. I also have a more detailed video about this fold linked in the description box below if you're interested. I fold the bottom edge in slightly. Then I fold this like a regular pad fold. And it's seriously as simple as that. I personally like covers with these inner flaps to hold Prefolds and flats in place. This is a great working combination for us, and for 2 months I've been using this and I've had 0 leaks. It is pretty bulky, and I would say extra large would be massive on a small baby. So I would look into some of the other sizes if you have a smaller child. The sizing of this does seem really weird and awkward to me. It is a bit longer than I would personally like for a Prefold. I'm mainly used to small Prefolds. That's pretty much what I use throughout diapering, is small Prefold, so this is much larger than that. Though I will say the absorbency is definitely there, and honestly, that's what matters most to me. The fabric does become fuzzier over time. It was a lot softer when I first got it. It felt kind of like a soft fleece blanket. And I know drying your natural fiber products on medium-high heat in the dryer can cause fabric to lose its softness. I've even heard people debate that high heat from the dryer can actually cause certain fabrics to continually shrink with excessive high heat. So with that said, fabrics like this would be best tumble dried. But they do take forever to dry. Hemp in general, no matter what brand you're using, takes forever to dry. With the exception of flats. Flats dry pretty easily. But just keep that in mind. This is 4 layers thick of hemp fleece, and it does take a long time to dry, especially if you're going to do a tumble dry. And if you're going to dry it on medium-high heat, it can lose some of that softness that it comes when you first get it. This is also not great with the snappy. When Geffen Baby reach out to me, they let me know that this is really not a product that goes great with a snappy, and I totally agree. The snappy has a really hard time trying to grab onto it. I think the Boingo would be the same. The fabric just isn't forgiving. It just doesn't have that type of weave that you need for the teeth of a Boingo or a snappy to grab onto it. If you do want to secure this around your child, this would work well with the bandy band. It's another type of closure. It's just a Velcro closure kind of on this elastic piece, and it works pretty well with really anything, flats and Prefolds. So if you want to secure this around your baby, maybe look into the bandy band. I pretty much prefer the pad fold for everything, for all of my flats and Prefolds, and it's just my go-to fold. Overall, this hemp fleece Prefold is great and incredibly absorbent. I use a lot of flats and Prefolds in my stash, and this Prefold fits really well into my stash and all the diapering systems that I use. The hemp fleece flat is a single layer of fabric. It is made from a single layer of soft knitted 60% hemp and 40% organic cotton fleece. This means that one side is fleece and one side is knitted. This is a one size flat, and when you receive it, it measures 30 inches by 30 inches. Hemp does shrink when you wash it, and this specific product is advertised to shrink 10 to 15%. My personal flat shrank to 27 inches by 29.5 inches. This fleece flat is also advertised as a fladdle, which is a really weird word, but it stands for fleece swaddle, which means that you can also use this as a swaddling blanket. These fleece flats, also known as fladdles, do come in two separate colors. You can get it in a light pink or a light blue trim. I use this flat mainly for daytime use. I use this flat with covers and also pocket diapers. I really go in and out of using different diapering systems, and I'm currently using pocket diapers the most. My current go-to pocket diaper is the Mama Koala pocket diaper. I do a simple pad fold, and you'll see that I love this fold the most. You just fold it into a rectangle and voila! Occasionally, I'll actually use this for my nighttime diaper for my 3-month-old. I'll use it with a Geffen hemp insert with this, but I mainly use this for daytime. I really enjoy this flat. We use it as a blanket and a spit-up rag all the time. Flats are pretty much the most versatile diaper in the cloth diapering world, and that's not an exaggeration at all. I actually do find this to be slightly more absorbent than the jersey flat, which I'm reviewing right after this. Also, it's not the best with a snappy or a boingo. I think this type of flat is best used as a pad fold. And just like the fleece Prefold, this fleece flat is not stay dry. This does wash and dry quickly and easily. Hemp does take longer to dry than most fabrics, but I found that this actually dries at a decent rate since it's just a single layer of fabric. I did find that the softness doesn't stay, but instead it becomes fuzzy over time. I do think it'll hold softness more if you strictly tumble dry or line dry. Though when you do line dry, things do tend to become stiff. Admittedly, I think that that's why my fladdle is not as soft, is because I do use the dryer on medium-high heat for my flats and prefolds. So if you want to keep the integrity of the softness of this fladdle, I would suggest hang drying and then maybe tumble dry on no heat. Doing a tumble dry can kind of soften it up a little bit, because when you do hang dry, things become stiff and sometimes even crunchy, so putting it in the dryer with no heat actually softens up the fabric a little. This flat definitely would not hold up for my toddler by itself, so I'd have to use a hemp insert with it. I mainly use it for my 3-month-old baby. For her, I either use this by itself or I also use a Geffen newborn quick absorber with it, just as a little boost of absorbency in her wet zone. This jersey hemp flat is a single layer of fabric. It is made of a knitted 60% hemp and a 40% organic cotton blend fabric. When you receive this flat, it measures approximately 26.5 inches by 26.5 inches before you wash it, so it's pretty much a perfect square. Again, expect this to shrink 10 to 15% once it's fully prepped. My flat measures at 21.5 inches by 26.5 inches. So it's pretty much a rectangle now instead of a square. Geffen uses different colored trim on all their products, which I think can really help everyone easily identify their diapers. The jersey hemp flat has a light green trim around the edge. I use this in a pad fold only. It is sized like an infant flat, so it works good for my 3-month-old with an extra insert. I use their inserts as boosters. Since I'm loving pocket diapers, I do use this with my Mama Koala pocket diapers. For my toddler, on the other hand, this flat would actually be a booster for her. This definitely would not work by itself for my toddler. So this is something that I would pair maybe with a Prefold or maybe pair with another flat, but I couldn't use it by itself for my toddler. For nighttime use, I use this jersey hemp flat paired with one newborn hemp insert and one size hemp insert, and then I stuff it into the pocket and we're good to go for nighttime. And for daytime use, I use it as is, just this plain flat, or sometimes I use a bamboo insert or a newborn hemp insert with it, just depending on if she's going to take a long nap. I really enjoy having this flat in my stash. I think I have about 8 of them. I stocked up on them when Willow was in newborn diapers. It's been her nighttime solution since she was born. Plus, I just really love flats in general. So for me, finding a flat that is also a nighttime solution has been really nice for me. The jersey hemp flat with a newborn and a one size hemp insert is my go-to nighttime solution for Willow. And it lasts us about a solid 10 hours. The sizing of this flat is on the smaller side. It's more of like an infant flat. So with that said, it's probably not great for toddlers just because of the sizing of this flat, but I do think that this is a great flat for babies who are moderate to heavy wetters. The Flats and Hand Washing Challenge this past May actually gave me a new love for this hemp flat. I wasn't crazy about it. You know, I've had it in my stash for years, but I wasn't ever really crazy about it. But the Flats and Hand Washing Challenge gave me a new love for it, and I use it as a booster for my toddler, and I think it is a great flat, and it's incredibly trim. It's one of the trimmest flats that are in my stash. I think for how trim it is, it holds a decent amount. And again, the sizing is a bit wonky on some of these flats. I have 8 of them, and some of them are really, really wonky. It's definitely not a perfect square, which I personally prefer for pad folding, but when I hang dry it, it does cause some bowing, and I don't even know how to explain it, but it causes it to be misshapen when I do hang dry it, so that might be something you want to take into consideration if you don't like misshapen flats. Losing focus, breaking up from our life as we know it. Overall, I really love Geffen Baby's hemp products. I have a handful of their products, even outside of these flats and prefolds, like inserts, newborn inserts, and also one-size inserts, and I absolutely love them. The hemp is high quality and it's super absorbent. I haven't seen any other hemp on the market that has such a high percentage of hemp in it besides Geffen Baby. Their hemp is actually advertised to be anti-mildew and antimicrobial, so I'm not sure how that works, but I've seen that advertised, and I honestly think that is pretty cool. I think the Fleece Prefold is amazing. It's awesome for nighttime. It is incredibly bulky, but it does the job, and we have never had a spill with it. It holds an incredible amount, 23 to 24 ounces, which I think is awesome. So I think if you're looking into trying out some hemp, and you've been looking or debating trying out some Geffen hemp, I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's such a high quality product, and I would personally recommend any of their products, at least for the ones that I've tried. Do you own any Geffen hemp products? Tell me down below. And if not, what Geffen products are you most interested in trying? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.